We are live. Well, good evening, everybody. There's nobody in the chat at the moment, but which is just as well because Viv has done the off. She has disappeared into the ether. She's gone into the background somewhere. So it's just me and Jamie at the moment, but Viv will be joining us presently. I think she's just gone downstairs for a cigarette. Not sure. Again, talking to thin air at the moment. Nobody's watching. So
best way, really, sometimes.
Yeah. All right. It's all right.
So, did you enjoy Saturday night, mate?
I very much enjoyed Saturday night. Very good. No, haven't got anybody in at the minute, Viv.
Did you enjoy Saturday night, Viv?
It was all right.
Yeah,
it was okay.
Good.
It was quiet.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I liked it. It was good.
I did.
Was good. It was relaxed. So for those of you out there that don't know, we went on an investigation on Saturday night to a undisclosed place because we don't want to give the name out before we upload the footage of the video for Saturday night's investigation. Just gone. And we have got one person out there. If you could do me a favor, please, if you could just hello, if you could just let us know by, I don't know, just putting something in the comment box. Anything, could be just hello, could be just anything at all, emoji, anything, just to let us know that. Oh, there's 3 out there. Excellent.
Hello
everybody, and welcome to Simply Spooky at Things Network tonight. We are broadcasting across 2 channels tonight, aren't we, Viv?
We are.
So we are very posh this evening. Oh, hello there, Mary. I hope you're good.
If you could do me a favour, guys, in the chat, if you could share this out for us, that would be fantastic.
Hi, Belle.
We appreciate you sharing it for us.
We've got 4 in the chat at the moment, so that is good. So this evening we're going to talk about something that, personal hauntings that we like. Not personal in the sense that
it's famous hauntings.
We've done them, but they're personal to us in the sense that they're famous hauntings that we adore.
Yeah.
So,
our favourite famous hauntings.
So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So we've each picked a location that is dear to us and means a lot to us. And for me, I've picked Borley Rectory, which is probably no surprise to anybody out there who knows me. Are you, Wayne? Hope you're good, buddy.
Hi, Wayne.
Right, I've shared it and shared it until I can share it no more.
Right. So what have you picked, Viv? What have you picked for your favourite famous hauntings?
Mine's going to be a surprise.
You said that to me, Dan.
I know what it is anyway.
That's all right,
It's the local Chinese takeaway around where she lives.
Who's going first? I reckon you should go first, Dan.
I think the oldest.
Viv?
Yeah, but that'll be Dan.
Right, okay. So I'm going to go first. I'm going to talk about a haunting or a particular haunting that means a lot to me, or a particular investigation and investigator. And I'm going to talk about Borley Rectory, like I said. And obviously, anybody who knows me knows that my favourite paranormal investigator of all time is the famous Mr. Harry Price. Now, Harry Price is considered to be a figure that was, what's the word? Controversial in sense, because he was accused of a bit of skullduggery, and he was accused of making up things about the investigation that he did, but it was later confirmed that he didn't. People that had actually accused him of all of these wrongdoings were people that had an axe to grind with him. There were 2 paranormal investigators, and this information only came out after he died. They would only print slander against the man after he died and he couldn't defend himself. And there was also one medium, and the medium that he discredited, like I say, he discredited her. So she was obviously out to get him. But later on, she decided that, maybe he was right, she was wrong, and she became an advocate of him and all his works. Now, Borley Rectory is an amazing place. And Borley Rectory, a lot of people think that the haunting is of Borley Rectory itself, but it's actually more than that. And what a lot of people don't realise is the rectory, which was built in, I can't remember when it was built now, 1863, I think it was, or 66, around there. Anyway, the rectory, the initial rectory that was, or the the rectory that we're talking about, there was a rectory prior to that on the same spot, and there was also, they believe, a building, possibly another rectory prior to that, and then prior to that, there was actually a monastery, which was Benedictine monastery.
Wow.
So the history
So
there
they only say one house, didn't they? Don't they?
Yeah,
really? They
yeah,
don't tell you about...
no. As you go into Borley, you will notice that the churchyard is on your left-hand side, and if you look on your
Gary.
north side,
Okay.
as you look to your south side, that was where the rectory was actually initially built. Now, the first one, the first reverend was Reverend Ball, and Reverend Henry Ball. And the thing about Reverend Henry Ball is that he was actually a native of that hamlet of Borley Hamlet, because it's a tiny, tiny little place. It's not even really, it doesn't even constitute a village. And the church there, it actually serviced 3 hamlets in the area. That was its actual diocese. And the thing about that place, the thing about he was told when he became old enough and he became a confirmed reverend, he wanted to stay in Borley and he wanted to minister in Borley. And obviously there was nowhere for him to stay. So we decided that he would build a rectory on that spot. Now, the locals told him, do not put anything there because it's just not going to work out for you. That land is very haunted. There's lots of things that are unusual going on there. He dismissed it and he built it there. And unfortunately, when he and his family moved in, they were plagued with paranormal activity. Now, that was fine. He took no notice and he stayed there for a few years. And unfortunately, it plagued his family more than it did him. But after a while, he passed away, and he passed away in the rectory in the green room. Then, roll on, just after his death, his son then took over, who was Henry Ball. But they used to nickname him Harry. Now, Harry, he brought his family in there, and once again, they were plagued by paranormal activity. Roll on a few years, then he passed away in the green room inside the rectory where his father had passed. So there's a culmination of bad luck there, as you can see, to start with. They both suffered they were both plagued with paranormal activity. They both passed away in the actual rectory itself, in the green room. And their families were just beside themselves with not just grief, but with fear. Now, then his family moved out, and a reverend called Smith moved in. Now, Smith brought his wife with him, and his wife, before they moved into the actual rectory itself, his wife, what she thought she would do is she would go and clean up. And so she started cleaning around and looking in the cabinets and cleaning the cabinets. And in one of the cabinets, she actually found some brown parcel paper, something wrapped in it. And when she took it out and unwrapped it, it was the skull of a female. Don't know where it came from. Do not have no idea what happened to it. And so with the Smith family, it kept going on, and gradually it was getting worse, and to the point where even Reverend Ball, the initial Reverend Ball, was actually seen. His presence, his spiritual presence, was actually seen in that property as well. So there was lots and lots of stuff going on there, even with the incumbents haunting it after their own deaths. So Smith was panicking, and he thought, well, I don't know what we can do. What should we do? So they got on to, I think it was the Times. No, was it Times? No, it was the Daily Mail. And they said to the Daily Mail, look, we're having lots and lots of activity in this property. We don't know what to do. Is there anybody in the psychical research field that can come in and try and find some answers and help us out with the problems that we're experiencing? So they connected him up with Harry Price. Harry Price then went along, investigated the property while they're there. There was lots and lots and lots of stuff going on at that property initially. But when Harry Price moved in, things started to ramp up a bit. So then there was sort of scribblings on the wall. There were messages on the wall. And the messages were just screaming for help. They were screaming for help. So anyway, that family, the Reverend Smith, he got ill. So he decided to vacate the property. So then he left because his health was suffering because of it. And then another reverend moved in. I think it was Lytton, if I remember. And the thing about him is he was a relative of the initial 2 incumbents. He was a relative of the Bulls. So he was like a nephew and a cousin. And he stayed in there, and activity started getting worse. It was his wife, Marianne, She was pulled out of the bed. She was slapped. She was punched. She also, when the writing started to appear on the wall again, it was written in her. They were writing her name. So there was lots and lots of stuff going on. Then they carried on there for a while, and eventually they decided that it wasn't working out for them. So they moved away. But then the diocese turned around and said, well, look, that property, it's no good. We can't use it anymore. There's lots and lots of activity going on there. We want to really clear it. So they closed the property down and put it up for sale. And it was left vacant for 2 years. But during that 2 years, Harry Price got in contact with the diocese and said, look, I want to rent that property off you for a year. I want to investigate that property solidly. And so they agreed. They said, yeah, okay, fine. Come along, investigate it, do what you want to do. And they obviously charged him. He then put a post out, or he put a notice out in the Times. And what it was is he was looking for people of leisure, but with a modicum of intelligence it would be a bonus if they could utilize and use basic machinery. And then what he wanted them to do, he wanted them to come in and investigate the property. So what he did is he built up a reservoir of 48 individuals, 48 paranormal investigators, and he had them running around the clock. And he said to them, look, what I want you to do is I want you to, anything, your feelings, your hearings, your sight, smell, write anything that's unusual down and keep a data of it. And then what we'll do is we'll cross-reference it at a later date. So he had 48 people in there over the course of the year. Now, even when he wasn't there was still lots of activity going on. So Harry Price decided that what he would do is he would run seances in there, seance sessions. And he did this with a couple of his friends. And the information that they got via a Ouija board was that there was a nun that lived there, and she was murdered, and her boyfriend or her husband was hanged. Sorry, her lover was hanged, who was one of the monks, and she was buried behind the wall. Obviously, that would have been when it was a monastery and not when it was the rectory itself.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that went on. He got a bit of information. Then there was a second spirit that turned up. I can't remember the name of the second spirit. It was quite an odd name. But he declared that the rectory would burn down that night. But it didn't burn down that night. It was a year later. And once the lease had come up for Harry, it was sold to a captain in the army. And this captain moved in. And while he was unpacking, he knocked over an oil lamp and woof, the whole house went up. Now, the spirit that they were talking to, Harry Price and they were talking to, that initially said that house, that rectory burned down, also said that there would be the bones of a murder victim found in the rubble. And Harry Price went back there after it had burned down. He went back and he had a look around, and in the rubble they found bones, and it was a skull of a female. The female, he believes, was a nun that he'd actually contacted via the Ouija board. And what's happened is with the loss of the rectory, the activity now has moved right across onto the church and the lands there. Mm-hmm. And the nun that used to haunt Nun's Walk, which is she's probably the most well-known of the spirits that haunt there, she's now haunting the cemetery in the graveyard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she's moved across.
Wow.
There have been other buildings put on that plot. I think there's been sort of 3 or 4 bungalows put there, but I don't know if there's any activity in there. People are reluctant to say anything about it. You've also got a coach and 4 horses, which is reputed to, it shoots through between the church and between where the rectory was, and it thunders down the road. And it's been seen, and apparently it sounds a bit folklorish to me, but it's 4 black horses and a team of 4 black horses and 2 headless coachmen. Sounds a little bit,
off-script, yeah.
But it was interesting. It's an interesting subject.
And but this haunting though, Dan, is the only haunting that I know that's ever been reported that had the faces appear on tiles on the kitchen floor. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It's the only haunting that's ever had that.
So much more to it, but obviously I can't go into it all because it's It's so, and I've got 10 minutes, and it's so deep and it's so intense, and there's so much more activity towards it. Like the writing on the wall initially, when the Smith family,
Did Marianne get help or something, wasn't it?
Marianne get help, Marianne help, get help, Marianne get help, Marianne. And but then it started to come, it appear on the wall, and then it would disappear, and then it would appear, and then it would disappear. But it's
Quite weird, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So there's, it's a plethora of activity in that property, just tons of it.
I can remember going to the up to Borley when I was in my teens. Me and my friend were like, "Oh, we'll go up there for an evening."
Fox screaming.
Hey?
Did you read that? I remember when me and my friends went there over 20 years ago. It wasn't a nice feeling, especially when we heard a fox scream.
Yeah, that'll put you off, won't it?
But
when we went there, Viv, and we thought we got, because we were questioning it, weren't we? We said, no, why would she be here, the nun? Because we picked up we were using the yes no box, weren't we? And we got
that's
a yes
a great
on it.
little
Are you the nun? Are you the sister? And we got a yes on it. But we thought, well, is it the nun? We don't really know. But it seems that now she haunts that cemetery. So, who knows? Who knows? Who knows what the story is? But it's an intriguing story, an interesting story, and it's amazing that the villagers knew about that land. Even before he built, and warned him not to build it, and yet he was born there and he took no notice. And I'd have thought that he would have heard the stories, but there maybe been a vicar. He might have thought it was just superstitious nonsense. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right.
As I was saying, when we went up there when we was in my teens, me and my friend decided to go up there.
I've never been frightened there, Belle. No, never been frightened there. It just feels peaceful, really. Me and Viv did it, didn't we, Viv, about 5 or 6 months ago?
Yeah.
And it was just, we did get bits, didn't we? We think we got affirmation from the nun, and stuff that we didn't actually initially hear. We picked up on the recordings after. So it was quite odd. There was stuff going on inside the church. Now this is the thing. The stuff that's going on inside the church. Bear with me a second. The stuff that's going on inside the church. What has kids done? Bloody kids! They're buggered about with the thing. The stuff that was going on inside the church. Well, the church is reported to be haunted anyway. But the interesting thing about that church is nobody's ever investigated the crypt there, and apparently the crypt is meant to be one of the busiest thoroughfares for activity in that place.
Got it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very, it's an odd one. It's an odd one. I believe it. And the unfortunate thing is that there's been a lot of negativity around the name of Harry Price, purely and simply because of the character assassination that was done on him by these 3 individuals. And as I say, it turns out that they all had an axe to grind. So, and obviously they put those articles out, and they put that story out once Harry was dead, so he couldn't really defend himself, which is a really bad thing to do. Even if you've got
it's a bit hard, isn't it?
Don't do it. It's tasteless rather. And the fact that they did it, I think, says more about them than it does about Harry. But I believe Harry Price was 100% honest. I really do. But an amazing investigator. So that's my was it 10 minutes? 10 minutes.
Yeah. William said that it's got there.
Yeah, he could have, William. It's possible. There's lots of stuff goes on in that church. Lots of stuff goes on in that church.
Do you want to go next, Parker?
Yeah, you can do if you want, or if you want to go, it's entirely up to you.
You go next. I'm not going to be able to show you pictures, though. That's the only thing.
No, that's all right.
Go on, you go next, Jay.
All right. Well, I'm going to be reading from my book as well, just getting the notes and
Fine,
whatever, because I haven't
fine,
memorised
fine.
it. So, but yeah, I'm going to
Fine.
be doing Hampton Court.
Hi,
So,
Terry.
yeah, I'm going to be doing Hampton.
I
Hey,
just
mate.
pressed it when you pressed it.
Ah.
Dan, leave things alone.
Oh, we're doing it. You've got your head down like this. Right, go on, mate. Sorry, Jamie.
Yeah. So, you're going to start pressing buttons now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Press my fucking buttons.
I go pick my nose. Go on.
So yeah, so I'm going to do Hampton Court. I've never been to the place before.
That's lovely.
I've heard of a lot of the history and just it's the palace, isn't it? It's the when King Henry had when he was in power. But yeah, so basically the palace is a Grade 1 royal palace. In the borough of Richmond up Thames, if I've got that correct, with
Richmond
Upon.
yeah.
upon, sorry. So yes, it was built in 1515. So that where King Henry VIII could live.
Hello, Chantal.
Hello, Chantal.
Beautiful
So
people. Beautiful.
there's two
She's gone
famous
Norfolk. She's gone all Norfolk.
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 Norfolk. That was
Norfolk.
us.
So you got old Norfolk, ain't they?
Sorry, carry on, Jamie.
So yeah,
Okay.
so there's two hauntings which kind of appeal to me. Like, it's quite fascinating.
Yeah.
Up on the stairwell, there you see a lady in a white Victorian
Right
dress that she haunts that hallway up the stairs.
Mhm.
And bear with me. So it was one of Henry VIII's wives, that the one that haunts the hallway up to the stairs, or the hallway onto the stairs. That was one of his wives.
It's a Screaming Gallery, isn't it? I think.
Yes, that's it. That's what we did. The Screaming
Is that
Gallery.
Anne Boleyn? Is it Anne Boleyn?
Jane Seymour.
Seymour. Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, because she was Seymour. Jane Seymour was beheaded, and she's the one in the Screaming Gallery, I think. I've got them mixed up. Jane
Was Anne Boleyn.
Anne Boleyn or Catherine Howard.
Yes, it's the Screaming. Oh, I've got this the wrong way round. Hang on a minute.
Doesn't matter.
I do apologise.
Don't worry.
Hi, Trisha.
Hi, Trisha.
Oh, yeah. So Jane Seymour, she was the one that died in 1537, because that was his fifth wife, and then Catherine Howard, she was executed for treason. Is it treason? Because she shouted. She reported to on the Silver Stick, which one led up to be in a room in which Jane gave birth and died on the anniversary, Edward's birth in October 37. And then, I should have memorised some of this.
Don't matter. You're all right.
No, don't worry about it.
Yeah, so Catherine was beheaded at the Tower, age 19 she got done for treason. She said something, and she got done for treason. If I got the quote here, after it claimed she was arrested at Hampton Court, terrifying treason, broke free of the guard. She rang along with it. Yeah, that's the one. So Catherine, she the one, she got done for treason, and then she was the one got beheaded in Tower, in the Tower, London Tower, because she broke free from the guard, and rang along the side of the haunting gallery screaming.
Right.
So that's how it all pitches in. I've done it the opposite way.
That's all right.
But
all right.
Screaming out the King of Mercy. So that's how Catherine died, and you can see her spirit in the screaming galleys, in the galleries, in the hallway, going up onto the stairs.
Sounds, yeah.
Yeah. So
I was going to try and share the pictures, but I don't think I dare because I will mess it up.
And then Jane Seymour, she's the only wife of Henry VIII. She's buried in the royal tomb at Windsor Castle.
Yeah.
Dan's frozen.
He's gone. He'll be back in a bit. He'll be back in a bit.
He was looking at me. I was like,
he was doing his sultry look. Then did you all notice that Dan was trying to get all sultry then, and then he sort of stuck. Has anybody got any questions on Hampton Court Palace? I mean, the place is absolutely beautiful. The palace itself, if you walk around, it's not that big, but the grounds are amazing. And I also know that close by in the grounds, or just across the road from Hampton Court Palace at Bushy Park, which is associated to Hampton Court Palace, that they had a garrison there that were during the war, and some of the soldiers have been seen there on the grounds of Hampton Court Palace, and also within the maze. There's apparently, is what I've heard from growing up with it, that you can hear children laughing in the maze at night. Which
isn't that maze quite famous for being quite tall and quite big?
It's quite big. It's quite tall. Yeah. It's got a bench in the middle. Nothing fantastic, but yeah. So that even the maze. I mean, I wonder if that's where they were talking. You know, like in oh God, what was it? You know, when they did the hotel. Oh God, what's that horror film I'm thinking of? The Shining. You know, when they run round the maze. I wonder if they got the idea from that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Don't know. Children of the Corn. That's Dan. Dan's a child of the corn. Where has he gone?
I don't know. Flapping around.
Trying to log back in again. And I go at the kids and then log back in again in a minute.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we'll. But we
so
get.
Did you learn a lot about Hampton Court Palace while you were?
It was quite interesting because I've seen the Mary Rose that was in Portsmouth, which was Henry VIII's ship when I was younger. So I had a bit of a fascination of it anyway, really.
We'll get onto that one in a minute. Just hang fire with that one. It's not at Hampton Court, but I know what you're talking about. Children of the Corn.
But yeah, so there was a bit of a fascination really to do it, and it's in Tudors, wasn't it? So yeah, it was quite. I quite liked it, and especially I haven't been there either to have a look round. I've done I've done Kentwell Hall. That's quite nice. Down in Long Melford, that's quite nice there. Goes back to the Tudors, so that's nice.
Dan's laptop has just died, which is why we've lost him. So bear with me. I'm going to get him back. I shall just.
I thought he plugged in. I bet he didn't turn the plug on, did he?
No, he's bloody useless, isn't he? Don't tell him I said that, people in chat. I've just sent him a link, so he'll be back in a minute. So I'm gonna move on to my famous haunting, and it's one of my favourites because I've actually been lucky enough to go in there and investigate it myself.
Nice.
So I've had first-hand opportunity, and it's very famous. It is the most haunted building. He's plugging himself in.
I'm
There he
hello.
is.
plugging myself in there. Bloody kids mucking about the electricity and
Yeah, it's you.
God.
It's just you.
If I knew then what I know now.
So you missed
So-
it all, Dan.
Yeah. So my place is, and I will challenge anyone that tells me otherwise. It is the most haunted building in the whole of England. There's
Nah,
no two ways about it.
not having it.
Is it in the UK or America, Viv?
It is in the UK, and it has numerous
That's
ghosts.
England, isn't it?
United Kingdom, and it has numerous ghosts, and even to the point, and I know it for a fact here because
Excuse me.
Mr. Underwood tell me here. Bear with me just a sec. Mr. Underwood has written about this place, and he also talks of Field Marshal Lord Grenfell, a member of the Ghost Club, who was a lieutenant at the Tower,
Yeah.
actually witnessed one of the said ghosts. So my place is the Tower of London,
Okay.
and I'm going to talk about the haunting of the Tower of London. But let me give you a quick rundown on the history of the place. So the Tower of London was built by William the Conqueror, and in its time it has been a fortress, a palace, a prison, a garrison, and a zoo, or in those days they would call it a menagerie. So it has been a lot of things. It has seen a lot in history, and it does have its ghosts, and it's more than just a couple. So I'll get the most famous one out of the way first. Anne Boleyn has been seen at the Tower of London in the chapel that is there. Her bones are said to be buried at the front of the chapel. That it's not marked where her actual bones are. They have been moved, but her bones are buried there along with her head. So she has got her head. But she's not only just seen at the chapel, but she's seen on the green outside, and she is also seen in the Northumberland. No, I tell a lie. The Martin Tower. It was called the Martin Tower, which is where she was held. She has been seen in various sites at the Tower of London, but she's also seen in other places as well. How can that happen? And I'm going to explain to you. Only one of those hauntings and all of these places where she haunts is a real haunting. The rest are replays, so they're residual hauntings. So she actually only haunts one of them, but the rest are just replays. So that's how she can haunt so many places at once. I want to talk about what used to be the Jewel Room. In 1817, the Jewel Room, which is what we know as the Martin Tower, there was a family in there that was serving or living in the place, and they were sitting down to dinner, and it was the wife and the children that had seen it first. They saw a cylindrical shape, and it was quite tall and quite wide, and of course there was havoc that rang amok then after they seen this thing appear in front of them. But when they stopped and reflected on what they were actually seeing, what they all reported was the same thing. And they said that the thing they were seeing looked like a bear. So that's in the Martin Tower. So there's a bear that haunts that place as well. One of the Earls of Northumberland. Now, I'm very honoured because I have actually captured this guy. he has been seen walking the ramparts between the Martin Tower and what they call the Northumberland's Walk.
Is that the walkway that we saw
It
you
is the
put on?
walkway. So the Yeoman Warders have also reported seeing something that shoots across that very quickly, and it does frighten them sometimes. I've been told, and I have it on very good authority, that company Yeoman Wardens don't like being up there alone at night because they say it is very spooky, and they've heard things. And it's a famous haunting. This has been going on for years, whether it's a replay or residual, or an actual haunting. I do believe it is a replay of events, but I managed to actually capture him as a full-bodied apparition, not just myself, but my fellow investigator. So we were very happy to have got that, and so were the Yeoman Warders, because they had something to show for what they were hearing and seeing themselves. So that's actually down in the records now, actually with the tower themselves. I want to talk quickly about some other famous hauntings there, which are the two princes, have been seen on numerous occasions, not just at the place where their bones have been found, which was at I'm going to pronounce it wrong, one of the other towers, the Wakefield Tower. They were found, but they've actually been seen inside the main building, the main fortress itself. So the princes do run around that place, and if you do go and investigate or go during the day, there is a great chance that you might just see them during the day. They have been showing themselves during daylight hours as well. The Bloody Tower is said to be haunted by a little princess. We don't know why. Sir Thomas Overbury, who was murdered in the Bloody Tower. Sir Walter Raleigh was imprisoned there, and so was Judge Jeffreys. Now, all these names are quite famous throughout history, but people have claimed to have seen them around that time. I went to the Bloody Tower and I did a bit in there, and I also found out that the Bloody Tower was used to imprison people. It wasn't the place you went to be tortured necessarily. So I did have things go off in the Bloody Tower, not what I expected to, because a lot of it was smell. But the Bloody Tower is very, very impressive if you ever get the chance to investigate. The church itself at the Tower of London is also haunted. I've written just a few little bits down, but as you know, you also have many of the guards, the staff, and some of the garrison that were there. For some reason, the Tower of London held a very special place in their hearts to actually be, stationed at the Tower of London for a while before they were moved off anywhere. So some of them have come back, whether they're just reenacting events that were nice to them. But I am going to finish with Guy Fawkes. So I have an affinity with Guy Fawkes. Don't ask me why, I just love Guy Fawkes. And we get A-class EVPs at the Tower of London of Guy Fawkes explaining the torture and what they were doing to him. And the one that I got, which I'm very, very proud of, was, look what they've done to my hands.
Oh, wow.
So we know that at the end of his torture, he did admit to doing what he was being accused of. He couldn't even hold a pen to sign his signature. So they put the pen in his hand and did the sign of a cross. But yeah, so this place for me is my favourite place and famous for a lot of hauntings. And the fact that it was a zoo, the fact that ghosts of animals are seen there, the fact that they keep ravens. The ravens, there is a story, if the ravens ever leave the tower, then it will fall. It's not a myth, because they crushed up the bones of ravens and put them in the cement when they made the first part of the tower. So yes, if those ravens ever left, the tower would fall because there's nothing to hold it up.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. It was a zoo. It was a lot of places. It's prominent throughout English history. It is over 1,000 years old now. You know, what more could you ask for? And full of a plethora of ghosts, you know, and they don't just turn up at night. When you go during the day, take your children out for a visit to the Tower of London. Take your camera, because things have been caught in broad daylight. It's an absolute jewel, the Tower of London, for me.
So that's it. That's
Yeah.
our three.
So it'd
That's our
be-
three favourite places.
So there is a
Favourite
rumour that the
famous?
Krays were in the tower, Viv.
They were.
They were.
Yeah, I thought it was.
They were in the army, weren't they? That was when it was a garrison. There was still a garrison then, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I think we should hold Dan overnight in the Tower of London because he uses to be a zookeeper. Now, this would be a really interesting experiment. Put Dan in there like he was a zookeeper and let him walk around like he's looking at animals and that sort of thing. Have somebody dressed up as the jailer or an executioner. There is a story of somebody is seen running away and then you see another spirit behind, and then she stops and turns around, and apparently it's the executioner that's standing there. But how true that is, I don't know.
It does sound interesting.
Traitor's Gate is quite interesting because Traitor's Gate was actually the tradesman's entrance. It was only in recent years that it was coined the phrase Traitor's Gate, because that's where they brought the traitors.
That's where they used to drown people, isn't it? There, when the tide used to come in.
That was a bit further up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
they chained up the walls, didn't they? And as the tide came in, that was it.
Yeah, it's game over, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
But say so, like between Borley, Hampton Court, and the Tower of London, I think you couldn't have picked three better places.
No.
It was a bit of a
they're
hard
the most
one, really.
well known, aren't they? Really, I think.
Yeah.
You know, they're all historical places, actually.
Yeah.
Three of them historical.
And any true and real paranormal investigator would know of these three places. They would.
Yeah,
Excuse
definitely.
Me. You know.
Definitely. Well, thanks for that, Viv. That was interesting. Sorry,
Yeah,
Jamie, I didn't hear yours. I'll listen back now. Sorry. But yeah.
Oh, I'm just reading through the messages. She's clicking away. The bloody tower.
I already put that up.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
He's pressing buttons.
And that. And that. Put that. Yeah, I haven't put that up. That's what I put up.
Yeah.
The cage, yeah.
So, has anybody got any questions about our favourite places?
Yeah.
You can't just get into the Tower of London. You have to know people. Terry will tell you, you have to know people to be able to get in somewhere like that. You know, it's not what you know; it's who you know.
Who you know? Have you watched the documentaries on 5 about the tower?
No.
You haven't?
No.
Why? I thought you would have done.
No, because I've been watching a lot of stuff just lately. And it's all about finding Bigfoot, Expedition Bigfoot, Downton Abbey. What's your experience at your number one location? Go on, Dan.
Good question. But number one location that we've been talking about, our favourite famous haunted locations, or our number one location personally.
She says, what's your best experience at your number one location, which is what you've just been speaking about.
Yeah, but it could be like number one location, your favourite number one location, as opposed to your favourite famous one. I haven't, to be honest with you, Tricia, I think for me, I like to think that we got affirmation from the nun at Borley when we got a yes on the yes/no box that we used. There's a question box that flags up 2 different colours. It's green for yes, red for no. And when we asked the question, it flagged up a positive. And we asked, "Are you the sister that walks these grounds? The sister that haunts this place?" And the answer came back yes. There was other stuff that we caught, but it was on reflection, wasn't it, Viv? So I can't really. It was an experience, but it wasn't an experience because it was only an experience after the event. So for me, it was that at that place. What about you, Viv? I know what you're going to say.
For me, it was, I suppose, having a 2-way conversation with a gentleman called Guido at the Tower of London, and having that voice recorder there, doing short burst questions, stopping it, playing it back, hearing the answers, and then asking another question as to where he wanted to go. I think there was about 2 or 3, 4 actually questions that were answered. He did come back 4 times.
That's quite interesting.
And to me, and I was calling out for Guido. I never called out for Guy Fawkes. I was asking Guido if he was around, and he certainly did come forward and wanted to have a little bit of a chat. But
so was that fella? Was he a soldier in the tower?
No parking.
Guy Fawkes. Guy Fawkes is part of the gunpowder plot, Jamie.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me know when you go back to Borley. Would love to go back. Do you know what? I would never take a bunch of people there. If I was to ever go back to Borley, it would be with one other person.
Yeah, it'd have to be.
And I wouldn't go with a bunch of people because it's not fair on me.
Any more than 2 as well, and they tend to get the police out, don't they?
Yeah.
So the police were always. I mean, we went there and we were very respectful, weren't we? Even the people that they knew we were there, but we were very quiet and respectful, and they were fine with it.
Yeah.
But if you turn up en masse,
then they.
It's really a weird one, isn't it? I mean, it's really, really haunted. It's like anything, isn't it? It's like moving next to a football ground and complain about the noise. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what it's like. You know there's going to be paranormal investigators that go in there. They're doing their best to put them off by, there's no parking there. It's a nightmare.
No.
Viv and myself, Andy, bless him, had to drop us off. So apart from that, we wouldn't have been able to do it. So
yeah, you would have to be dropped off, the driver go away, and then be picked up later on. And that and to be fair, you don't want. I mean, if I lived there, I'd get a bit sort of annoyed with lots and lots.
I can understand them getting annoyed. I can understand them getting annoyed. But then, by the same token, a little bit me thinks, well, if it's that famous, why it's like moving next to a football ground and moan about the noise.
Yeah.
They've taken down the signs, Borley, now. So when you drive in, you don't even know
where you're there.
You know where you are.
You drive through it, not know that little hamlet, isn't it?
Yeah.
They still close the roads on Halloween.
Do they?
In there, mate.
Yeah. Well, when Dad used to drive around there, when he used to deliver some like the parcels and that, he had to go through Borley to get where he was going, and at Halloween they used to close the road. So people couldn't go in mass, like you say, mass numbers, and because
see that I understand, because I think that what's happened is most paranormal investigators are respectful and they'll go there, but a lot of them go there 10-handed and 15-handed, and they're all walking around. You don't know what damage they're doing to the graves at night because they're stepping all over everything. They're probably wrecking the grass there, doing all sorts of damage, leaving rubbish, being noisy, and I can understand that.
Trish, it's because a lot, and I mean a lot of paranormal investigators, kids, thrill seekers, junkies, they all go there on Halloween thinking that they're going to get something. And this village is so small, they can't cope with it. And why should they, to be honest?
No, not that. They
not like that.
Yeah, that's the problem, Tricia. That's the problem with a lot of them.
Exactly. Yeah,
I can understand it. I can see why people do that.
Yeah.
So no,
it's been exciting though. I mean, like Borley, when Dan and I did it, we couldn't have picked a better night, to be honest.
We were really lucky, weren't we? We had a really good night. It was enjoyable, wasn't it? It was nice, warm, balmy night, wasn't it? It wasn't, you know, it was quite
Nice.
temperature did drop, but it was good.
Nice cup of coffee by the gate, by
We
the.
sat down like a couple of pensioners without chairs out,
In
didn't
the
we?
chairs.
Recording
Like
equipment
Saturday
and
night.
coffee.
Yeah, I mean, a guy went past on his push bike and even made a reverence and waved to us.
Yeah,
It's
his
like we
mate
waved
did
back
something
at
and he
him.
went, Ghost Hunters.
Yeah, we waved back to him. It was quite.
But they were all right, weren't they? The villagers knew we were there, but they didn't take offence, did they?
They
Because we
didn't
were
say
really
anything.
quiet.
Mm.
Yeah, we were really quiet. We didn't, you know, we were very respectful of where we were. And at the end of the day, that's sacred ground, isn't it?
Yeah, but you
know?
get people that scream, run around all over the place, and
Yeah.
just,
Panicking.
you know,
Disrespectful, isn't it, as well?
It's not even so much disrespectful. It was just like people being.
Oh, I remember that, Terry. That was at Christmas a few years back.
Just being stupid, you know. It's just they're there for the thrill. That's all it is. They're not investigators. So
No, and that's most of them there, isn't it? Are there for the thrill, aren't they? They're there for, and I can understand it, you know, because I'm guessing those properties around there are not very cheap. If you spend
No.
like best part of £1 million on a property, you're not going to want people banging
Especially
in
that
the
one
house.
near the church, next door to the church. It's quite a nice house, isn't it?
Yeah, some lovely properties there. It's a lovely, lovely, tiny little hamlet. It's really nice.
and the site of
I would
Borley,
move there.
the site of Borley Rectory itself is gated now, and they have built houses there, and it is gated, and you can't even get in on the site of Borley Rectory
No,
itself.
no.
There's just no point really
No.
to be in winter and look like. God.
You know what, Trisha? That's what me and Viv do. We love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh dear. He says
It's
he's going
brilliant.
to
Good fun.
he's going to take me to some railway tracks. He's going to take me to a railway track and soon. And I'm thinking, oh shit, he's going to push me in front of a train. That's what
I'm
he's
not
going
going
to
to
do.
point out the trains.
Tie you down.
And then us three, we're off to Mildenhall at some point, and we were going to watch the planes come in and out with
Yeah.
sandwiches and flasks. We don't half live on the edge, us lot, didn't we?
Oh my god. But yeah, there are loads of famous hauntings. But you know what? I
They
always
are.
say, don't take it as gospel. Do your own research, and you know when you start going down that rabbit hole of research, you'll find that it branches out into so many different tunnels on that
Yeah.
one place that you're looking at. But Borley Rectory and the haunting of Borley, once you start going down that rabbit hole, you'll find out so much. And the man himself, Mr. Price, he's done so much within the field of the paranormal, not just Borley Rectory.
No. He's done
And
loads.
people don't actually know what he's done because they've not
No.
bothered to research him or look him up.
No. And unfortunately, the thing with Borley is it is a very famous haunting, but by the same token, they've marred it by the criticism of him.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly. Yeah, they've marred it, haven't they, by the criticism of the man when it's not, it's proven that it's not true.
Oh, it's have you watched the new Borley film yet? The new Borley film. There's been loads,
Hi,
hasn't
Kelly.
there?
Yeah, I think they might be knocking them out left, right, and centre, aren't they?
I think so. Hi, Kelly. But I
They
think,
knock them out left, right, and centre.
Lucas.
but you know, I always say, like, do your research, go and investigate, use your own common sense. You know, if you do
Be
get
respectful.
anything, and if you do get anything, go back to your research. Has anybody in history got the same thing as you? You know, keep coming back there.
And don't be put off by places where people go, I'm not going there, it's not haunted. Or nobody's been there, it's not haunted.
Oh yeah.
You know, nobody knows. And spirits
get
are
a-
everywhere, aren't they? So,
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
hi, Dan. Spirits are all over the place. So,
You get that a lot, though, don't you, Dan? I'm not going there. It's not haunted.
oh,
But you know
Steve,
what?
I've had it. You've had it.
I've shared a piece of a live feed on my wall recently because we went somewhere to see something else, not to do with ghosts. Never been investigated before. We didn't even know that it was haunted.
No.
And I've had the most frightening evening of my life in that one place.
It was active, wasn't it? That was very active. Hi,
So
Kerry. It's probably the most active place that I've been, I would imagine. Hi,
Hi, Kerry. Do you think?
yeah, I think it, for apparitions, I think it was. For seeing something, it was. I mean, I've seen, like yourself, see stuff quite a lot. Well, not a lot, but enough over the years. You see bits and bobs, but like to see three or four of them in one place.
It's as Wayne says,
growing.
sometimes it's getting others to share their experience of those venues. They like to keep it to themselves. But you know what, though, Wayne? It depends on the circumstance, because, if you're at a place that's never been investigated before, it's a very small village like Borley, do you want it overrun with paranormal investigators than to ruin it for all? It's a question. It's not a question of them being secretive or not wanting to share. I think a lot of it is because they can't share, or you get into a venue, the venue owner's got you in, but doesn't want loads and loads of paranormal groups. So
exactly, Tricia. Yeah, no, I agree. It's a double-edged sword, isn't it?
It's like everyone says to me that they want to get into the Tower of London. But you know what? I can't give my contact to go and invest the Tower of London. I can't give that out to anyone because, it's just not the done thing. And sometimes
the thing is as well, any goodwill that's been shown to you, you could ruin.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's not worth doing that for those two reasons: being respectful and not ruining it for yourself. I know it's selfish,
Exactly.
but why should you?
Yeah. That's true. Von says, would not expect you to. Oh, she's lovely, Von is.
She is.
I do like Von. I had that with Russian Patrol. We were trying to find out if any other teams had made contact with the Navigator.
I agree with that. I think what Wayne's getting at there, I think, is he means places that are popular and that, and people won't share their activity, the register of the activity that they've had there with other groups, which is stupid.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, there are like Rougham. There is a Rougham Association Facebook page where people could share stuff on there. But I think you're talking about just more paranormal. The paranormal side of things, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's talking about sharing experiences and activity, because then you can cross-reference each other. But if people don't put it up there, then you've got nothing to cross-reference it against.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Trisha's, I'm guilty of keeping a venue to ourselves. We've had sole access for about 7 years now, not been since a few months before COVID hit. We call our gold mine because it really is. We have not been totally selfish. We also have taken trusted investigators a few times, so I run an event there. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, you have to sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, there is the opportunity there for somebody to, I don't know, start up a Facebook group or page or something where people could post experiences, but it takes a long time to regulate a page, and who's got time for that? I know that I haven't.
I think the problem is as well, there's a lot of divisiveness and division in this field, isn't there? Yeah. Nothing to do with the paranormal. Some people are just bloody bad-minded. They're just negative, and they just won't share it anyway, just to be bloody minded.
But I know what you mean. Such a house in Yorkshire, but it isn't that. I don't think it's haunted at some point. But too many people attend every night. I know which one you're talking about as well.
Yeah.
And there's also a thing, like, until you've been and tried and had a go for yourself, you don't know. You don't know what you're going to get.
The fun's in the trying, and even if you don't get anything, the fun is in the trying, and being with other people like yourself.
Yeah, if you've got a good team, it makes it even more fun, doesn't it?
Me and Dan, we try and go to places that have never been done before. So, do it, Wayne. Do it, Wayne. But you have to sort of be able to sort of put it into folders, wouldn't you? I don't know how you would do that, where people could find stuff easily. Maybe a website might be better than an actual Facebook page.
Be interesting, though, wouldn't it, to see how many people contribute?
Yeah, too many people.
I think Von, it has an impact on it. I really do think it has an impact on it when too many people go somewhere, and it's like a battery, isn't it? I think it gets worn down.
Yeah, that's true,
Yeah.
Trisha. Absolutely,
It's true.
100%.
Thing is, as well, can you trust these
One's
groups?
on it.
Because when I look at a lot of them on YouTube or Facebook, clearly the evidence they get is either misinterpreted or it's complete lies, and they know that they're lying. You know.
I was at a venue, Dan. This is so funny. I was at a venue with a few people, and this one lady investigator, let's just say, went around and did a load of EVPs. And she was in the base room, and she's well known within the paranormal. And she's been doing it for a little while. And she's playing back her EVPs. And listen to this, listen to this. I've got the voice of a little girl. And they were singing Ring and Ring and Roses. And apparently this little girl was supposed to have finished the song, All Fall Down. Down was the bit that she was supposed to have said. When I sat and listened to it, I had to walk away laughing because they were adamant they got this little girl saying it, when in fact it was the daughter of the person that was leading the investigation. It was his daughter that you could hear quite clearly, and it was her voice.
But the woman thought that it was spirit voice.
Wow.
Ghost. Call us ghost, yeah. And I thought, really?
That's true.
Really? And I had to walk away
True.
laughing. I missed that.
Sorry, I'll put it up there.
What is active to one person is pants to another. Yeah,
Yeah,
True.
definitely.
True.
it is.
But,
true.
this person in the paranormal, this lady in the paranormal, apparently she is the expert on these things and knows these things. And yet, when you heard that back, and I thought, I know that voice. That's so and so.
I love it when you look at these teams and they're out
It's
investigating. One I can think of right off the top of my head, and they're out investigating and they're doing EVPs, and they go, "Is there anybody there?" And then they play it back and you go, "Is there anybody there?" And then you can hear their voice going, "Yeah, I'm over here." And you think that's you.
Yeah.
You think they are. You've not even hidden it.
But you slowly get to know who you can trust.
Yeah.
I don't trust no one.
No.
I don't trust no one.
No.
Seriously.
No, I don't.
I
I
bet
don't
go
even
then.
trust myself.
I don't. No, I don't trust me.
Who do you trust, Jamie?
In fact, I
team
stole
that
money
I'm
off of
with,
myself.
You know, I trust that. You know, I've got their back. You know, I've got, you know, scratch my back, you scratch mine, kind of thing. You know, I think it's the team that you've got more trust than yourself, really. I think, you know, because you know as well as I know that you're not going to go, if we're doing an EVP session, you're not going to go, well, listen to that, and then we're not going to make stuff up, because that's what we're not there for. We're there to prove that, or to say there is a ghost or haunting there. You know, there is something there in the limelight that it could be a ghost. You know, we're not going to cheat ourselves, because what's the point of cheating? You know, you might as well not bother.
No, it's not. You want to cheat yourself. I think what it is they want to cheat people that view them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
They do it for
That's
views,
what it's
don't
about.
Yeah.
They're not all like that. Don't get me wrong. There's some really good teams. I'm going to call out the good
I'm not
ones.
saying that, but I think it's
No, I know you're not. I'm going to call out there's two that I like, and they're both British. And I'm going to call. Am I all right to call them out, Viv, and say the other ones?
Go for it. Give them a shout out.
The two people that I trust, or four people actually. One are the Ouija brothers, which I think I really like them, because I think that they're honest and they're very critical of anything they get, and they're not over the top. So I like those two guys, and they're good personalities. They seem like nice lads. And the other two, which is a team that I think's only just come on recently in the last, I'm not sure, maybe year or so. They're called Ghost Theory, and that's two young lads. I think they're from around here somewhere, not sure. But again, two good lads, bit of a laugh, and they're honest. They seem honest. Again, you know, they criticise their own activity. They question it. They thoroughly go through it, and yeah, those are the two that I like. Everybody else I can't be asked with.
Trisha, it's just so funny when they fake it, because even, do you know what? I've seen, and I've got evidence of it. I've seen people that have been calling out others for faking it, but they fake it themselves. And that's what I find so funny. But
we've seen them do it, haven't we? When they think it's dark, and we've had an infrared on.
But it gets me when people ask so many questions so fast that a ghost wouldn't have
no time
to.
Yeah, I love that. There's no time in between, is there?
I know a few. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. It's funny. Yes, Wayne, like some people can't want constant noise, just don't like silence. I'm a very social person, but I know when to be quiet. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Gary, that's it, Dan. We never got your back again on an investigation. I love it, Gary.
But Gary,
Nice one.
you don't put yourself all over social media, mate. They're the people
No.
I'm talking about. The social media whores, unfortunately, that sell themselves and they sell the craft.
The content creators.
Yeah. They sell
Yeah.
the craft, don't they?
Do you know what?
nothing.
There is one team that I watch, and when I do watch them, I think watch a bunch of idiots. And
Is it
that's
us?
Striking Midnight Paranormal. I do watch them.
Especially the bloke, he's a right tosser.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Me, I mean. Wayne, you're not like that. Terry's definitely not like that. Wayne's definitely not like that. I'm talking about these ones that, like, the ones that are quite way up there, got a lot of subs and that, and a lot of them got a lot of subs for particular reasons.
There's a song about that. Things that make you go,
Not you,
I don't even know
you're
it,
the
so.
most honest I've and you and Vivid are the most honest I've worked with. Not you.
There's a
not
few.
Paul.
There's a few good ones out there. There's
a lot of good ones out there. It's just what I'm on about is the social media. I suppose they court social media, don't they? It's like that's the be all and end all of that's what they're after. And it seems a shame because they put all that effort into going to these places, and yet they betray themselves by not being honest.
But Gary as well, if he's listening. But Dan, what about people that put it up there just for entertainment? They don't claim to be.
That's. Do you know what? That's fine. I think if it's just for entertainment, and if they're honest, that's fine, and it's not their fault if people are still gullible enough to swallow it. I'm suspicious because I'll check the venue myself.
See if it was Nan made.
What you got your nan going out for? I'll take my granddad, Joe.
Yeah, my nan wouldn't make anything unless he means a non.
Oh, maybe yes. Yeah, sorry.
You headed to Amazon Prime next year, but we're sticking with the.
Yeah, you have to because that people.
Hi,
Hi, Bri. Yeah, you have to. You really, really have to.
I used to live stream a lot, but it's mainly to draw interest to my events. Archive my page. Do you know what? You should just keep your page going.
Yeah.
Let people still look at it because you go back and view it and just think, I remember doing that.
It's hard work, isn't it?
Mm.
It's like because full well as soon as you put yourself out there, you're open to really character assassination by some of these people.
Yeah.
It's not enough that they criticise the group and how you go about things, but then they start becoming personal. And that I've had it, Viv's had it.
Yeah. Just
James
keep going. Just grow a thick skin and keep going.
Yeah.
Joe Diamond said he meant man-made, silly autocorrect, but I prefer nan-made. I prefer nan-made. I can't be asked now, to be honest with you. Can you go live when people know I'm going somewhere?
Yeah.
Like me.
The thing is, it just brings you to contention that when people do get activity, you scratch your head as to what's real and what's not now. So it kind of muddies the waters, and it's hard enough. It's a hard enough environment to get evidence anyway, isn't it? And when it is up there and it maybe is credible, people aren't going to believe it.
One woman was calling me a whore and all sorts. I pretended I didn't see a comment. She was talking to herself.
Yeah. See people getting really personal, which is horrible.
Just jealousy. I've been very lucky with no
problems. That's good,
Brian. Do you know what? Trish, you should have just blocked them and just that they don't exist anymore. And if they want to continue and they pursue you, then obviously they've got a thing about you. I've had that.
Yeah.
I've seen some of them out there that go after people clearly because the people have got a big fan base, I suppose you'd call it, with some of these teams. Like big sort of subscribers and people that follow them and that, and and they go after them on the basis that they're, that I know one particular group who we've worked with, Viv. We did an investigation with them, and they were perfectly fine and lovely. Unfortunately, they were criticised to the hilt, weren't they? And there was lots and lots of negative stuff about them, and they weren't guilty of anything that they were accused of. And it turned out, and it covered the mask slit. It turned out it was all jealousy because they started going on about the amount of likes and that they were getting, and the amount of people that were following them.
That's good fun. That's
That's
fun.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've not had any hassle since I've come away from I won't even talk about it, but I've not had any hassle for a very, very long time. The only hassle I have is when I'm
Jamie
down
comes
on,
out with us.
No, I'm down on the floor doing something, like sitting on the floor doing whatever, and Dan walks past and farts right in my fucking right on my head level.
I'll tell you what.
It stinks, Dan.
I let a corker out of the jail the other week.
Did you?
You walked into it. It was like mustard gas.
Oh, dirty thing.
It reeked. It was bad. I had to go and check.
At the jail? What jail?
At the prison.
Oh, that one.
Mallet.
I thought it was the place that stank. I didn't know it was you.
I said to you, I moved next to you and farted.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It was great.
I tell you what, the EVPs, I tell you, when I play them back, they're so funny. Oh, it's funny. Anyway, yeah,
I like Margam. Oh, sorry, I thought it was.
You're going ahead. I'll behave myself.
Yeah, for a change, Kerry.
Well, I don't know about that. We ain't bothered about likes, stars, shares, etc. It's not why we do it. It's not why a lot of people do it.
No, a lot of them don't do it like that. There's great people out there.
I break my neck, my arm, and now I've broken my foot. So we'll be at mine around the weekend in my Versace boot. Dan had one of them on the other day.
I've just come out of it.
I think you should go back in it.
I sympathise and empathise with you. It's horrible, Trisha, isn't it? Yes, it was ectoplasm.
I wonder if you got any voices through me going.
It was ectoplasm. You could pick up voices, disembodied voices through the white noise.
Margam's only half an hour away from Trish.
I like Margam. I've only done it once, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Von's got the right attitude. Well, she doesn't want anything off anyone. Just go out and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan loved his.
What's that?
Your boot.
Yeah, I look like Noddy Older. I look like Glam Rock from the 70s. It was massive on me.
Joe haunts his local pub with a blonde wig.
Only on Fridays, says Joe.
Roll on Saturday.
Nice. You're all out. Who's out? Who's out this weekend then?
Lost.
I'm hoping that's Count.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's Count, Trisha.
Trisha, we know 100, 100, 100, 100 in Welsh. We know what that says. We've asked Alexa. It's quite funny.
We're not that funny, though, are we? Because yeah.
Alison, I hope you're feeling better as well. Bless you. I know she's had a little stay in the old hospital bed for a little while.
Oh,
but I hope she's getting better.
Well, I hope you're on the mend, Alison. Hope you're on the mend. So who's out this weekend and who's got investigations? And don't tell me where you're going if you don't want to. I've still got mine. Actually, I was going to get rid of it, and Viv said, hold on to it because you're liable to do something else. And then 2 days later, I tore the ligaments in my leg.
Yeah, you want a pair, though. You want one for each foot. So if anything happens, you're covered.
Some clear trousers, so I look a proper 70s.
Trousers. Oh, God. Gary says not me.
Not you what, Gary?
He's not going out anywhere.
Not going out.
Oh, you're not?
We're not going out the weekend.
No, we're visiting Young Kelton, aren't we? But Friday, but we're not. Apart from that, we're not investigating this weekend.
If you
want to invite us somewhere,
we're just having a rest. Dan, we're having a rest.
All right, if you want to invite me somewhere, I'll be more than happy.
Hoping to be about, but nothing in stone yet.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Have a pair of boots, broke both feet at the same time.
Oh,
Oh,
Joe.
wow.
Wow.
I'm like,
Ouch.
oh.
Yeah, it's
Well-
right. Nothing next weekend.
In a little while, in a minute.
Going to see granddaughter in Derby. Oh, that would be lovely.
Yeah, nice.
Not this weekend.
No, I suppose there's not a lot of people out.
How did you get around?
Who, me?
Hobbled.
Badly. It was awful. It was, the thing is, right, I broke my foot in the beginning, sort of February, didn't I, Viv? And then that was healing. They put it in a boot and all that sort of stuff, and that was fine. And then a few weeks ago, I went over and tore the ligaments in my left leg, not my right leg. So I've done both legs.
Wheelchair. Should have gone around in a wheelchair. He got around in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And Terry's out on the 14th.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Lovely.
I think we're apart from going to visit Kel this weekend, I think we're not, or Friday, we're not doing anything, are we? Well,
We might do Thursday.
Thursday we might, yeah. But we haven't got anything booked, have we, really?
Because we are little devils.
We are. But it doesn't sound like there are many of you out this weekend.
Well, we've just had a big bank holiday, and we've got another one coming up at the end of the month, haven't we? So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
think,
we
yeah.
haven't we?
yeah,
It'd be interesting, though.
people will be out and about. Shall we do our jar?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, do your jar, so then we've
That'd
got
be
some
cool,
research
Brian.
to do.
Right, I am going to pick it.
That'd be very cool.
I'm going to pick it straight out of the jar. So Bryce says he's thinking of doing
Magpie Mine.
Mine
Where's that?
with the magpies.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my eyes are bloody.
I'm
You know
out
what?
on
I
the
get
14th.
really bad dry eyes lately.
So
Oh, sorry.
this is what we're talking about next week. Shall I delve right down?
Oh, Terry says at the end of the month, isn't the bank holiday? It's been moved to June.
I don't want it to June. I want it at the end of this month. Are you ready? This is next week's.
Nice. That's a nice number, Tricia.
This is next week's
Derbyshire. Haunted cars and vehicles. I'm just happy. I'm happy it's not Crystal, to be honest with you.
No, we've done that one.
It done me.
So we're
So
going to be
haunted
talking
cars and vehicles, eh?
Yeah.
That is an interesting subject, that.
Yeah.
At Magpie Mines in the Derbyshire Dales.
It's lovely there. Derbyshire. Derbyshire's lovely anyway, isn't it?
A great
Yeah.
place.
Beautiful.
Hark.
I think is that Harpic?
Harpic. Do you know there used to be a toilet cleaner called Harpic?
Yeah. I like going to visit that Harpic, but I always get flushed.
That's right. So haunted cars and vehicles next week. So Jack, that's going to be an interesting one because
Yes.
we recently went to a place with lots of haunted vehicles.
Yes. I have to do some research then.
What a topic. When I said about 3 years ago, it tickled me. Harpic, yeah. I thought my dad's car was haunted. It kept moving by itself. He never put the handbrake on. There's a car at the doctor's house near Hampole. Wonder if it's
really?
haunted. Harpic.
Yeah.
Haunted. Yeah. But yeah, this is going to be a good one, I think. A good topic to talk about next week.
Yeah, there's some famous haunted cars as well, aren't there?
There is.
Bits of haunted cars.
Stop talking about Terry's missus.
Oh, that was a good film, that. That was a good film, that.
No.
Nice work if you get it. Trish?
The doctor's house used to be a great location. There's plenty of doctor's houses. There was a house. Oh,
New
Dan,
Orleans.
no.
House of Rising
There's a-
Sun.
There's a house where an exorcist used to live in King's Lynn. We might be able to. Have I shown it to you?
You probably have, actually.
No.
You probably have, actually.
It's a similar looking
Similar
car.
looking car. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, we're out at. I think we're out investigating on the 28th of May. We're out next.
Yeah. We'll be out before that, I reckon.
Yeah, we will be out before that.
Be out before that, I reckon.
Definitely.
Saturday night, if anybody's got any spare places.
I'd love to, but it's my little boy.
Yes, it does, Terry, doesn't it?
Does Ware High Street have a lot of cars, I should imagine?
Yeah. It's normally me going up and down it, lost.
No.
We got lost coming back from Vibs, didn't we?
We did.
There were 3 cars there back
Only
in
one
the
left.
day, but one left. Well, there you go.
Well, that was
I could-
interesting.
I have seen a car, one of the original Beetles that was made during the war for the Nazis,
It was Hitler's.
in a museum, and they said that car was haunted. But whether it's true now, I don't know.
Oh, so,
Oh, Phil.
yeah, we know where you're going. We know where you're going.
Going.
Because you told us.
Yeah. Right, so has anybody got any questions for us before we wrap this up?
Nope.
Anybody?
Have you had a bit of a moustache and beard trim? It looks very smart today, Dan.
No, I just washed.
Oh, was it?
Well, I say washed.
It shows. It shows. Oh dear. The house is built from...
Oh, that's interesting.
Ooh.
Oh, I love a backstory like that on a purportedly haunted building.
Mm.
Do love a backstory like that.
Yes.
Interesting. So yeah, so we're out. Well, we'll be out before the whatever it is, but yeah, we've got a good one coming up, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
Good one coming up, so that was going to be fun.
And we will we'll be doing something in the week,
Yes.
because this is about the time of year and Dan and I get very, very busy. Are you talking about Mr. Harold Shipman by any chance?
Sounds like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Was he Derbyshire? Was he?
Yeah.
Now I'm intrigued to see if it was Shipman.
Harold Shipman, yeah.
I think it is.
No.
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 Is it Doctor Who?
Doctor Who. He's in Cardiff. That's down by Trisha's neck of the woods.
Have you mistaken the TARDIS for his house?
No questions. We enjoyed this. Thanks for joining. Journey. I'm on a late shift, but we'll try and sneak a crafty session while the boss isn't around.
Be good to see you there, Pat Carroll, and thanks for coming tonight. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you all so much.
So we'll be back. Well, we're on air tomorrow night.
We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. Well, a little bit later, but tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. We have a fantastic guest on tomorrow night. You don't want to miss this. We have oh God, what's his name? I've been saying his name all day. Ross Allison. But he's talking about some groundbreaking news for the paranormal world.
It really is.
Oh no, we've actually seen it. But Dan and I have been really, really lucky to have been one of the first people to see it. But he's devised some equipment with the help of a scientist, Dan?
Scientist, yeah, proper bona fide scientist.
Scientists, and have come up with this piece of equipment that can improve touch.
Oh, you was talking about
Yes.
Amazing.
So
Yeah.
The thing with
Ross-
Ross, I'm hoping he'll talk more tomorrow evening. We're going to have a word, but I'm hoping he'll talk tomorrow evening about some of the other projects that he's been dealing with in the last 6 months. Because when we spoke to him about this project, because he gave us the initial first showing, didn't he? You and I and Andy.
yeah.
And when he showed it to us, I was asking about other things and what about doing this and what about doing that. And he said that's what they've been doing for the last 6 months. And they've got even more exciting stuff in the pipeline.
Sounds very interesting.
Imagine.
So this will be a very, very interesting show on many levels, but for this groundbreaking equipment that's been built, it's not available within the paranormal field at the minute. But that's not to say that it isn't going to come. So, yeah, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised when you listen to
I would go
more
as
show.
far as to say that the field has become very, very stale last few years, and things sort of just grind to a halt. And I think that I'll put myself out there, but what Ross has done is kind of groundbreaking. I think he's really pushed the boundaries, and he'll tell you about it tomorrow. It's amazing. So I wouldn't miss it because, it's
That's
cool.
all right, Chantel. We don't.
That's all right.
mind.
Don't worry, Chantel.
That's all right.
That's fine. Bless her. That's my daughter there. So, tomorrow night he's on at 8:00. Be there or be square. That's what they used to say, isn't it, in the 80s?
Be there or be square, yeah.
I don't know. I was only born in '84, so.
Shut your face. But it is a groundbreaking thing that he's going to be talking about. We will be putting links up to where you can actually watch this and see the proof.
You want to see this, Terry? You'll love it. You'll love it, Terry.
Honestly,
it's very clever.
It's Ross Allison.
Yeah,
Ross
tomorrow
Allison.
he's on. Yeah,
a bit like Feynman. No. That's not this. That's
no. This. You'll kick yourself because what he's done is just been staring us all in the face.
Yeah,
but he's brilliant. He's brilliant, and so's the fella who's with him, the scientist. And believe me, this scientist went out on a limb with his own career to back Ross's. Well, what he thought was just Ross's. It was just his whim, but it wasn't. And Ross talked him round in the end after a long while, I think, Viv, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he'll talk about it tomorrow as much as he can, I suppose. We'll put the links up as to where you can see this for yourself because he made a documentary. So he made a documentary. Before you go, say 100. Right, there it is.
You got to say it to.
It's naughty,
right, that's us off for things.
So tomorrow night at 8:00.
Yeah, 8:00. We're giving you a wait, Jay. He's one of these kids compared to me. He's one of these men that looks continually knackered. Mind you, to be fair, he'd done half work.
Yeah, I'm just.
He does what he does. Oh no, he's had this week off.
Yeah, he's had this week off. What are you talking about? Doesn't go back to work till Monday.
You run me ragged on the weekend, so
it was good.
It's a great weekend. It was a great one. Loved it. Can't wait to go back out again.
We did some filming for Striking Midnight, and there is more to come.
That was
Lots more to come.
There's a joke about that, but I'm not going to get into it, Terry.
Well, we covered Dan in Flower. We would call him Yeti.
Oh, look like the big fat Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeti.
Yeah, not Yeti.
Or the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Stay Puft, that's it.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Did you see my thing up there?
Man. What?
Yeah.
My ode to Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Yes, can see it.
I've got a foot up there.
I think that was there Saturday, wasn't it?
It's been here for weeks.
It's a metal one.
Metal.
Metallic. It's made with real UFO stuff, you know. And on that note, let's wish everyone a good night, and we'll see you
Good
tomorrow.
night, everybody.
If you're on.
Good night.
See you
Bye.
tomorrow. Take it easy. Thanks for all coming in. Cheers, guys. Speak to you
Bye.
soon.
Bye. Bye.
All right, you still here?
Bye.
Go.